What if I told you that the number of candles on your birthday cake does not tell the whole story about your age? We all know someone who's 60 but has the energy of a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old who feels much older. It turns out there's a scientific reason for this. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of epigenetic clocks and what they reveal about your true biological age. So, what exactly is an epigenetic clock? Let's break it down. You've probably heard of your chronological age. That's simply how many years you've been alive. But your biological age is a different story. It's a measure of how well your body is aging on a cellular and molecular level. Think of it as your body's real age, reflecting your overall health and how fast your internal systems are declining. This is where epigenetics comes in. Your DNA is like a massive instruction manual for your body. But epigenetics is like the set of sticky notes and highlighters that tell your cells which parts of the manual to read and which to ignore. These epigenetic marks don't change your DNA sequence, but they control which genes are turned on or off. One of the most studied epigenetic marks is called DNA methylation. Imagine tiny chemical tags, called methyl groups, attaching to your DNA. Over time, the patterns of these tags change in predictable ways as we age. Certain spots on our DNA tend to gain these tags, while others lose them. Scientists discovered that by looking at these methylation patterns at specific locations in our genome, they could create a remarkably accurate predictor of age. And that, my friends, is an epigenetic clock. The first major breakthrough came in 2013 from a scientist named Steve Horvath at UCLA. He analyzed DNA methylation data from thousands of people and identified 353 specific locations on the DNA that were highly predictive of chronological age. This became known as the Horvath clock, and it was incredibly accurate across different tissues and cell types in the body, from your brain to your liver. It was like finding a universal aging clock ticking away inside all of us. Since then, other epigenetic clocks have been developed. There's the Hannum clock, which is great for analyzing blood samples. Then came the second-generation clocks, like Grimmage and Fenowage. These are even more powerful because they weren't just trained to predict chronological age. They were trained to predict health outcomes and lifespan. Grimmage, for example, is notoriously good at predicting time to death, heart disease, and cancer. It's a bit grim, hence the name, but it gives us an unprecedented look into our health trajectory. So, how does this work in practice? Let's say you're 40 years old chronologically. You could get an epigenetic age test, usually from a blood or saliva sample, and find out your biological age is 35. This is called age deceleration, and it's great news. It suggests your body is aging slower than average, and you have a lower risk for age-related diseases. On the other hand, if your biological age comes back as 45, that's age acceleration. It's a wake-up call that your body is aging faster than it should be, putting you at a higher risk. Now, for the million-dollar question, if your biological age is older than your chronological age, are you doomed? Absolutely not. And this is the most exciting part. Unlike your DNA sequence, your epigenome is dynamic and can be changed. This means you have the power to potentially slow down or even reverse your biological aging. So, what can you do to turn back your epigenetic clock? The answers might sound familiar, but now we have the science to back them up. Diet is huge. Studies have shown that diets rich in fruits, vegetables, and leafy greens can have a positive impact. These foods are packed with nutrients like folate and polyphenols that support healthy DNA methylation patterns. On the flip side, processed foods, high sugar intake, and excessive red meat are linked to age acceleration. Exercise is another powerful tool. Both endurance and resistance training have been shown to have anti-aging effects on the epigenome. Regular physical activity helps reduce inflammation, improve metabolism, and promote healthy cellular function, all of which contribute to a younger biological age. It's not about running marathons. Even consistent, moderate exercise can make a big difference. What about sleep? You guessed it, it's crucial. Chronic sleep deprivation is a major stressor on the body and has been shown to accelerate epigenetic aging. Aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night is one of the best things you can do for your long-term health. Stress management is also key. Chronic stress floods your body with hormones like cortisol, which can wreak havoc on your cells and speed up aging. Practices like meditation, yoga, deep breathing, or even just spending time in nature can help manage stress and have a measurable, positive effect on your epigenetic clock. And, of course, we have to talk about things to avoid. Smoking is one of the worst offenders for accelerating biological age. With studies showing smokers are biologically years older than non-smokers. Excessive alcohol consumption has a similar effect. Cutting these out is a massive step towards a younger you. Let's look at a groundbreaking study that really drove this point home. The TRIIM trial, that's short for time, rejuvenation, immunomodulation, and insulin mitigation, took a small group of men between the ages of 51 and 65. For 1 year, they were given a cocktail of treatments, including growth hormone and a few other medications combined with dietary advice. The results were astounding. On average, the participants reversed their biological age by 2.5 years. In other words, after 1 year of treatment, they were biologically younger than when they started. This was a landmark study that proved epigenetic age isn't just a number, it's a malleable target for intervention. Now, you might be thinking, where can I get my epigenetic age tested? A few years ago, this was purely in the realm of research labs. But today, several companies offer direct-to-consumer epigenetic testing kits. You typically send in a saliva or blood sample, and a few weeks later, you get a report with your biological age and sometimes other health insights. However, a word of caution. The field is still new, and the quality and interpretation of these tests can vary. It's important to choose a reputable company and, ideally, discuss the results with a healthcare professional who understands this science. It's also important to remember that these clocks are not a crystal ball. They are a powerful tool for assessing risk and motivating lifestyle changes, but they don't predict your destiny with 100% certainty. Think of it less as a final grade and more as a progress report. It gives you valuable feedback on how your current lifestyle is impacting your body at a fundamental level. The future of this technology is incredibly exciting. Researchers are working on developing tissue-specific clocks to see how different organs are aging. Imagine knowing if your liver is aging faster than your heart, allowing for targeted interventions. Epigenetic clocks are also transforming drug development and clinical trials by using biological age as an endpoint. Researchers can more quickly see if a new drug or therapy is having a real anti-aging effect. Ultimately, epigenetic clocks are shifting our entire paradigm of health and aging. They move us away from just treating diseases once they appear and toward a more proactive, personalized, and preventive approach to medicine. The goal is not just to live longer, but to live healthier for longer, to extend our health span, not just our lifespan. So, the next time you celebrate a birthday, remember that age is more than just a number. It's a dynamic process that you have a surprising amount of control over. By making conscious choices about your diet, exercise, sleep, and stress, you can literally change the way you age from the inside out. You have the power to wind back your own biological clock. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the science of aging. I hope you found it as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how to optimize your health, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments if you've ever considered getting your biological age tested. Until next time, stay curious and stay healthy.